Hey, what's up? It's Tiffany. Before we get started on this week's episode, please be sure to send us your requests at BOOshakalaka@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter X, BOOshakalaka You can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Instagram at BOOshakalaka Podcast. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the BOOshakalaka Podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany, joined my co-host, Pierre.
And I'm here to mourn with you all of my gamers, all of my PlayStation users. We just recovered from an 18-hour blackout. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. I myself almost didn't recover. I almost didn't make it. So it's glad to be back.
So glad you're back with us. Did you email Mr. PlayStation at gmail.com and ask for a partial refund for the day?
Go to hell. Go to hell.
Don't you have to pay monthly? Is it a week? What? Don't you have to pay?
No, you don't have to pay. You can pay. It's an option. Like, it's just like to get online storage and like free games. You can pay. I do, but I do it yearly, so that time is come and gone.
You better get your
18 hours worth
back. I'm sure it's $4.18. But guys, we are here to review Final Destination. I hope you tuned into our Final Destination Bloodlines trailer reaction. That was pretty fun. The synopsis for this movie: after getting a premonition about a plane crash on his school trip, Alex, a student, saves a few of his classmates. However, the situation gets complicated when death starts chasing them. I feel at this point we need to start making up our own synopsis. If you could make up a synopsis for this movie right now, what would yours be?
Death is after these motherfuckers. Run. Help.
I like it. Or you can't always run to a black man to save you.
So we start this movie off. It's very ominous. Basically, 40 students are going to Paris. It's part of their French class trip. Never an option for me, so I don't know what the fuck this was about. But yeah, they're going to Paris.
It was at our school. There was a trip at my high school.
We were not allowed to go to Paris. So I was just jealous the whole time. The whole time, Alex, our main character, is seeing little visions. And some of them don't really mean anything. Some of them kind of do. I don't know. Everybody's saying weird shit. Weird books.
He is experiencing, what's the word? Superstitions. That's what he's seeing, things that are superstitions to people, like ripping off your luggage tag. So that's why those things are kind of like getting to him, because all these superstitions are happening around him. That's it.
So even when he like gets his ticket and he checks in, the lady is like, "Oh, well, your departure time's the same time as your birthday." And he's just like, "What?" Like, I don't know. He's being very weird the whole time. I think he just has a lot of anxiety about flying.
These are your average high school kids. The guys go. This was kind of weird though. I don't know. You're a guy, so let me ask you: have you ever gone into the bathroom with your friend and taken a dump simultaneously?
No, I know girls do. Girls have done. I know girls who have done that. They call it a bonding moment. But
I am a part of a different generation, baby, because I have never heard that in all my years of living. So
even the reasoning though, like, I mean, their reasoning is so they don't poo on the plane and the girls don't smell it. But even still, like, I don't know, right next to each other. I don't know. I see it. I mean, they were doing it.
Should have been holding hands under the stall. That's what it was giving me.
They did it in a movie we recently reviewed, if you think about it. So I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just like a best friend thing where you go and you poop together. But
this is not RuPaul's best friends race.
This is not RuPaul's best friend race, Sherlock.
But yeah, Alex is just quietly freaking out the entire time. And yes, we get introduced to we're just gonna call them our main characters. Carter is the bully. His girlfriend is
the smallest bully you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, but he got a Letterman jacket on, so you gotta let him make it.
Terry could kick his ass, like.
But again, I'm so tired of this trope where you dating this asshole and you mad when he does asshole things. Like, he's picking on people for no reason.
We can't use that excuse. This movie came out in 2000. We can't talk about I'm so tired of this trope because we got to put our minds back into the year 2000. I'm just kidding. Yeah, we can use it because why are you dating him? That makes you a bad person as well, Terry.
Right, because he's just picking on Billy throughout the whole movie for no reason. Like, I don't even know anything about Billy because all I know is Carter likes to pick on him. Like, that's just
Carter, you dick.
And to be fair, Billy is bigger than Carter. Like,
John William Scott is huge or tall. He's very tall.
Yeah, and then he's not a scrawny guy. He's not Keir Smith size. You know what I mean? Like,
the roles should have been switched.
Thank you. But I get maybe he was trying to get away from the Stifler stigma. Maybe I'm thinking
I think
that.
his name is Kerr, but continue.
Oh, is it not Kier? I've been calling him Kier for all my life. I just want to interject. Sean William Scott has amazing bone structure. Like, I noticed it throughout this entire movie. It was almost sad because I'm like, damn, he could have been a leading man, which he was for a time in Hollywood, and then they just kind of discarded him. They're getting on the plane. Again, Alex is just still like, it's ominous music throughout this whole scene. He sits in his seat. The two hot girls asked him to switch seats with his friend Alex. Alex was like, no, he wants to sit next to these popular girls who don't seem like they have anything to offer. But anywho, he goes and sit next to his friend. All of a sudden, they take off. There was a moment, and I wish they kind of would have kept it out, where there was like a baby on the plane. This is the only time we see the baby, thank God. And then you see a disabled guy, and Todd's brother is like, it had to be a really fucked up guy to take this plane down. And I'm like, why'd they put that in the movie? So yeah, the plane take off. Everybody, they doing too much. They go, ooh, I say, I'm like, okay, chill out. But even the whole time, Carter's just over there mad. It was very hard. I hate you. It was very hard rewatching this. I'm like, his character is terrible. Like, he's just a complete spoiled, boring.
I think he was the one that needed to go take the dump before the flight because he had a lot on his chest.
Because even when they though I thought it might have been corny, they're high school students, but he was mad about the whole woo thing. And I'm just like, y'all are taking off and going to Paris. Why are you still mad?
You clap on a plane and when we land, and I'm instantly pissed off.
So. Oh, no, that's childish. I have not been on a plane when that has happened, though. Thank God. No, I've
been on several.
I'm part of the crew. As soon as they land, everybody stand up, and it's like, okay, where do you think you're going?
I swear, like, the older I get, the more I get more annoyed. So, yep.
But yes, planes like starts shaking. It starts getting some turbulence. They're like, oh, it's okay. Maybe it get even more shaky. It's like, oh no, open the door so I can jump out with my parachute. Because they could have really saved at least 5 people.
Who are you, CJ? You just automatically have a parachute in your arsenal?
Oh, is that not under the seat? Look, I listen to those things all the time when they be talking about, oh, there's something under your seat. I thought that was the whole point of them going over that.
Vest.
Oh, well, child, it'll give you. I have nothing. I can't even redeem myself.
I need you to listen again. I need you to start listening. I need you to take your headphones
off.
Why
wouldn't you have listen? That would help a lot, because then I would just jump. Like the minute they start getting too rocky, all right, open up the exit.
Not everybody knows how to use a parachute.
Well, the survival of the fittest. So the plane.
Well, call, and maybe our tax dollars can be spent on that instead of paper or plastic straws. Let's move on.
Or renaming the Gulf of Mexico. So the the plane starts to explode. Like, I mean, it's really like one side of the plane, and it starts pulling people out. They start dying. It's very traumatic. And then the plane like explodes, and Alex gets burnt up. Then he wakes up and he's like, "Wait, I'm okay, but what the hell just happened?" Like, he all sweaty and gross. Ooh, boy, you did not take a poo like you were supposed to. So then he freaks out. He starts seeing the same things happening. Then he just starts yelling, "The plane's going to explode! The plane's going to explode!" I don't understand everything else that happens. So Carter gets so mad that he gets into the aisle and he just starts punching Alex. And then, of course, the flight attendants are trying to get him off the plane.
Things like that. You can't say things like that on the plane. I get why he was upset, but he should have been like, flight attendant, get him off the plane.
Yeah,
let him handle it.
It was irrational for him. Yeah, it was just irrational for him.
You're not part of the FAA. Go sit down.
Mrs. Newton, the teachers get into the aisle. Billy is coming up because he was last on the plane even last time. Because I don't know, he was just last on the plane because he's stupid. That's all we know about Billy. The only person who just had no reason to get off was Claire. And Claire gets off just because she was
Clear. Her name is Clear.
Is her name really Clear? Because the closed captioning on Max.
Her name is Clear Rivers. Clear?
I don't like this movie anymore.
Jill Roberts.
I don't.
What's her name? Jill Roberts.
Yes.
Okay. Like I know her name. Her real name was Emma Roberts.
Yeah, they didn't try at all.
They should have named her Julia Roberts, like her aunt.
But
yes, Clear gets off the plane as well. It's because she's obsessed with Alex.
Yeah, and Todd's brother, his big brother, tells him to get off the plane just to go check on Alex. So 7 people total get off the plane. It's 8 right now, but we'll get to that. So they get off the plane, and they're in there, and the cops and the fucking pilot even gets off, and he's like, nobody else is getting on. And so the teacher is like, look, I got 40 students going to Paris. I can't just let them go by themselves for 10 hours. Like, come on now. So he's like, all right, one person gets on. And so she tells the French professor to get on just because, I mean, you know French and they're going to be in France. So you get on and we'll catch a flight later.
Right.
I don't even know. It just seems like that would cost a lot of money. I would have been so mad just internally. You know, everybody's trying to calm Alex down and separate him and Carter because they're fighting. They start fighting again. And, you know, like the teacher's trying to like talk to him and he's just like, you know, I saw it. And then he just starts, him and Carter get into a fight. And while they're on the floor, he's just like, I wish you were on that plane. The plane takes off. Billy's looking at it. All of a sudden you see it in the background blow up. And Billy's like, oh shit. And then the glass breaks. I was like, damn, that was a bad explosion.
You fucking prick! Oh shit!
Because, I don't know, the distance and what they were saying on the news, I was like, would it have shattered the glass? Doesn't matter. It does. And
I mean, planes are huge. You got to think about it. I think it would have shattered the glass. And it wasn't that far either.
Oh, and
I think it would have.
Now
it's time for the FBI. FBI immediately. But these are the dumbest FBI agents you ever heard in your life. Detective Ween and Detective Shrek. It should have been Detective. I'm gonna call them Donkey and Shrek for the remainder of this. Okay. They interview all of the kids, and Alex still sticking with the story. You know, I had a premonition. I had a dream. I'm not sure. I saw the plane was going to blow up, and the plane did blow up. They suspect he had something to do with it. When you can track his whereabouts from the whole day, like how would he have been able to do that?
Yeah.
How would he have been able to do that?
Again,
and you know, there's always going to be an investigation. They're going to figure out why the plane exploded once, you know, once the investigation concludes. So it just didn't really make any sense. But the only thing that I thought was kind of weird about this movie, as opposed to all of the next Final Destinations, there is a brief period of time in between the premonition and when the actual death of our main character starts. It's not the next day. It's not 2 days later. According to Wikipedia, it was 39 days later that they start. Like, what was Death doing? Did Death like have an appointment? They had a tropical vacation it had to get to and didn't have time for these people, or it had some other people that it had to go kill first?
Well, I'll say that I just feel like this movie had more of a soul. I mean, you know, I know it's a horror movie, but it just felt like they invested a little bit more into the whole story than, and all the other movies is just like, all right, accident happens, die, gore. You know,
you hate everybody too. Like in this movie, we only hated Carter.
Yeah,
but you hate I ain't like the teacher either because she was weird. She was scared of Alex after this.
Yes, so they have the Memorial Day 39 days later. And you know, he tries to go and talk to her and she's like, get the fuck away from me, you scared the hell out of me. They all are looking at him like he caused it. Like, it's just very weird. I've never seen, it feels like maybe some of them have survivor's guilt and that's what's like driving a lot. Maybe the teacher even has survivor's guilt, but it just is weird, like that they were all like acting weird around Alex. Like even Todd's dad doesn't want him to be friends with him. And I'm like, so did you want your son to die on the plane crash? Like,
did you want both of your sons to die?
Like, I couldn't understand what was the big deal about being mad at Alex. Like, it was just very, very weird. The only person who's actually happy is Claire. And Claire's like, you know, I'm alive because of you. Thank you.
Claire.
That's not going to work for me.
We get to our first pivotal part of the movie. I remember seeing this in the movie theaters as a teenager. What an experience. What a damn experience. We're over at Todd's house. Todd is about to take a bath in the largest bathroom I've ever seen in my life for just an average size house. That bathroom is huge. I think the washing machine and dryer were in there as well. We get a Rube Goldberg mousetrap. Like, I felt like he was playing mousetrap because he talks to his
God, that game was so hard to set up.
The fun is catching. You wanna bite? It's mousetrap.
That's what he was doing. The water turns on. What spills into, like, shampoo spills into the tub. The clothesline is in the bathroom. Like, baby, y'all doing a lot in this bathroom. We had washing machine and dryer. I ain't had no clothesline in there in 2000.
This is what I'm talking about with the presence of death was like definitely more so in this movie. Like, everybody sees like a dark, shadowy figure. There's always cold wind blowing. Like, it's like he's in there with you, and you can feel like the Grim Reaper in there with you. Not to win for Billy and Mandy, though, man.
But I think the Grim Reaper realized, oh, I don't want to do this because people think that this was a suicide. All the deaths moving forward do not seem like a suicide. So Death was like, oh, no. Can't nobody else take what I did. I did that. He didn't do that himself. So Death was like, nah, I'm going to change it up. I'm going to switch it up real quick.
Yeah, so Todd dies. He basically gets strangled by the clothesline. I don't know what. He does he tries his best, but I mean, it's really like Death is literally like pulling the damn wire.
Also, like I said, the shampoo was spilled on the inside the tub. So while he's moving his feet in the tub, he keeps slipping and sliding on the shampoo. So he's not able to get a little grip it with his toes or anything. So yeah. And we see like the blood roll, or we see his eyes turn bloodshot. I think that was, out of all the deaths, I think that was probably the worst one. I would never. Strangulation just seems like, oof.
Alex didn't have he's not having premonitions anymore. He's more so having
visions.
I don't even want to call it a vision. It's just like weird shit is happening. It's just like very ominous shit. So he had a magazine. He was reading porn because, of course, and he throws the magazine and it gets shredded up.
Porn
because it was Penthouse. and he was he not? Was he not reading?
So funny. You know what's so funny? I've never like looked into those magazines. I know they had like interviews of the women or the men who I'd never like opened one of those up. So like, yeah, he was reading porn.
He was reading it. He throws it into his fan and it gets shredded up and he see like the wording. He only sees Todd. It lands on his lap. So he just knew to go over to Todd's house. By the time he get there, Todd is gone and his dad is all mad. He's like, he felt so much guilt about his brother. And Alex is like, the dude wanted to hang out with me, dude. Like, you were the one who didn't want him to hang out with me. Like, but again, what did you want to happen? Did you want both of your sons to die on that plane? It was just very weird.
I think he did.
Even the FBI is there, though. And I'm like, why is the FBI there? Claire is there. She's like, Alex, get out of here. She hiding behind a damn tree. Girl,
Clear.
Get in your river and flow away. Like, it's just like,
I would have been.
I'm actually upset because the FBI was mad that Alex was there, but they weren't mad that Clear was there. Didn't they see her behind the tree? She was
right.
Like
she was the one that was given more suspicion because she was like, "Well, I just left because I felt it. Why'd you feel it and nobody else did? Clear, I'm watching you, girl, with them ugly bangs. Like, get your face too long for them little short ass bangs. Who you think you, Nicki Minaj?" So we get over to the. They want to see Alex. I guess wants to see Todd's body, so they go over to the funeral home and they want to look at Todd's corpse to I guess see. I don't know I don't know who they think they are. CSI. I don't know what they think they're gonna figure out. But they go in there and here comes the MacDaddy, as he calls it,
the mortician,
the MacDaddy of death.
He came from. Did you see how he came from the Batcave?
I love Tony Todd. R.I.P. Tony Todd.
R.I.P. Tony Todd. Where did you come from?
Please. You'll wake the dead.
What is this movie? But he come in.
Final Destination.
Creeping them the hell out. Now, see, this is where the movie loses me. Because even the mortician says...
lose you.
Yes, it does. The mortician is like, oh, because Alex is like, what are these? He's like, those are like cuticle marks. And he's like, that's from trying to pull it. And he's like, well, then it wasn't a suicide. And he's like, yeah. So wouldn't the FBI be on that? Like, that should have eliminated the whole suspicion around Alex immediately.
Okay, I get that. But it's the same night. So he probably hasn't even turned in his report. Once they do that, then it goes to the cops. And then they're able to, start building their case. But he tells them Alex tells William Bloodworth about everything that happened that's his name. He tells him everything about the plane crash, blah, 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 blah. And that he had the premonition, and Bloodworth's like, well, you disrupted Death's plan. The MacDaddy of Death. And I'm like, we should bring back MacDaddy. I like that word. That was fun. Something make it MacDaddy. They basically leave and they try to discuss their next move. And then we skip to the next day where they're all at the cafe, correct?
Yeah. Him and Claire are basically trying to go over Death's design. Claire does not believe anything he's saying, though. Like, it's weird because she was like, I felt it and I felt you and I still feel you to this day. But
I don't believe this.
Yeah, but I don't believe this. So he at the cafe just wasting his time, which Alex is a bit fanatical about it all. I think if he were more calm about it, people would have. He's just like, with the turning in the. And I'm just.
He still has the idle hand. The idle hand is still attached to him because.
And I hate his haircut in this movie. It just totally.
He looks terrible.
I don't know. Maybe they were trying to make him not look like the typical
No,
high
like
guy.
you
I don't know.
said, fanatical. They were trying to make him look like he had a little itch to him. Like, oh goodness, like one of them itches.
But Carter is driving past, like he just drove past the cafe. He does a whole U-turn and almost kills Billy. Like literally, he like falls off his bike. He almost gets hit by cars and everything, just to go and fuck with Alex. At this point, are you gay?
Yes.
Because
yes,
he's
100%.
a little too obsessed with. He's a little too obsessed with
100%.
Alex. Like if
But
I was his
excuse
girlfriend,
is-
I would
yeah.
have been like, nah, bro.
You
nah.
can date him. But
Like-
his excuse this time is like, what'd you do to Todd? And Alex like, that's my best friend. Like, I would never do anything.
You don't
to
even
Todd.
like us. Like
Correct. Todd cussed you out 39 days ago at the airport. Do you remember?
But the plane, it's gonna blow up. It's gonna blow up. Hey, fuck you, Horton. Okay,
Todd.
fuck you.
right. Fuck you. Oh, he did. Oh,
Literally.
God. So Mrs. Luton comes out of I'm guessing it's the bookstore, because a bookstore next to the cafe, and
Sure.
Carter.
Remember bookstores?
I mean,
Those
there's
were the good
still
old days.
Barnes and Noble.
Go get me a little froyo over at Yogurt Mountain right after I finish reading about Zane's sex chronicles.
Oh God, I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna get some cafe in the morning. Not Zane's sex chronicles. So Carter goes up to Mrs. Luton. He's like, "Oh, so when are you moving?" And she's like, in next day or so. So basically, she's moving and she's lived there her whole life. She's moving just to get away from it all. She can't take it. So Carter decides to get angry at Alex again. Did y'all want to die? I don't understand the anger at Alex. He's like, now she has to move because you had a premonition. And
Like, she wasn't even your favorite teacher. Wait.
Well, that's what he says.
They graduated, right? They're done.
Leave me alone. Why they're still in this town, I don't know. They should be. Well, I guess it's summertime.
Yeah, I guess they're
yeah.
getting ready for. She's probably getting ready, to go to a new school for the new school year too.
Yeah, and Terry loses it. She finally decides to stand up for something, and she's like, "Stop fighting! I'm not gonna let this plane crash be the biggest thing in my life. If you want to keep beating the shit out of Alex every time you see him, then just drop fucking dead." Flat.
If you want to waste your life beating the shit out of Alex every time you see him, then you can just drop fucking dead.
She is gone.
Let me tell you, seeing that in real time at the airport. What the hell? In the movie theater, right? In the airport. In the movie theater, we were like, "Oh,
now,
oh my god!"
Terry had no chance. Everybody else in the movie feel like they had some sort of hope. She had no chance. Now, mind you, Alex did see a bus in the reflection. Now, what I don't understand, come on, we got to reel it back real quick. That road had construction on it. If you were watching the road from the direction the bus was coming from, there was construction over there. There's like they were doing something. There was like that yellow machine. So I don't know where the bus came from that fast to where nobody saw it, and that was weird to me.
I don't know, but I do know that it flattened Mr. Stubbins just like a pancake.
Man, it flattened Mr. Stubbins just like a pancake.
So her blood splats on everybody. It's sad. She's dead. Terry's gone.
Bye, Terry. See you, girl. You should have stood up to your fucking boyfriend. Or when you finally decide to, you get splattered by a bus. I saw somewhere that this next scene where they're drinking Alka-Seltzer for some reason, Clear and Alex, and they're on the phone, they added that in because it riled up the test audience so much seeing her get splattered by that bus that they weren't ready for they needed something to kind of cool them down before they went to the next scene. So that's hilarious.
That is.
I'm telling you, we hollered. We were all like, "Oh!" Because that's a common thing, especially in a lot of movies where there's two people in a car and then you see the cameras focused on the person in the passenger side and then you see the car coming and splatters that person. That happens too often now, but that was something fresh back then. I crazy movie experience. I'll never
Look
forget.
both ways before you cross the street. That is the moral of the story.
She didn't even cross the street. She stepped off the curb. Like, how close was the bus to the curb?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It had to. How fast was it going? I mean, damn. Because it should have been coming to a stop, right? But
baby, not that right. The construction. They said construction. I gotta make it on time. What the hell? I gotta go home. My stories is on. Gotta watch Jerry. After watching the news about the explosion, Alex figures out that death is reclaiming the survivors according to the sequence of their demise on the plane. So he has I don't know how he has the manifest of the plane. I didn't know those things were that easy to get, but I guess. And he remembered where everybody was sitting. I would never remember shit. He remembered where everybody was sitting, and I just promise I would.
Think about going. I mean,
have.
you fly more than me. You don't be knowing where them people. You know,
I guess maybe it'd be different if it was my friends on the plane with me.
Okay,
We were going on a group trip. That might be different, but like I said,
random. But that was great planning that all the students were sitting together. That was great planning. Like you had to have amazing planning skills to do that.
Well, you know, you didn't have to pay for seats back then. Clock it.
I keep forgetting.
Except for like first class. He figures out that Mrs. Newton, or whatever the hell her name is, Luton is next. She's next. And this is by far the dumbest chain of events.
Well, first of all, he show up at her house. Again, if Alex was just, she might have not taken it well.
Not
just because,
frantic. Frantic.
Just because she don't like him, she probably wasn't going to take anything he said well. But he just lurking outside the house. He like, what you doing up in there? I got these cheeseburgers, man. I got these cheeseburgers.
Man, I got these cheeseburgers, man.
So she like, oh shit. She called the FBI. They come pick his ass up. He over there checking her tires and shit, just being creepy. Like, go knock on the damn door. So
he just saw her name, but he didn't see anything about, just like Todd. He just saw Todd's name, but he saw the bus for the old girl. But so he doesn't know how she's gonna die. I guess he's just trying to figure that out.
Right. So he go to the FBI station. They interrogate him. He spooks one out. And I want to point this out. You know this man, don't you? Shrek. You know Detective Shrek. He's been in almost every movie I've ever seen. I don't understand the trajectory of his career. I don't understand why, but I
would love to be an actor like that. Like I constantly work, but people are like, "Hey, is that so and so?" Because I'm not like the focus in like scandals, any kind of events, but I'm doing my due diligence. I mean, I need to get into my mom era.
His house looked nice. I know his house looked nice because he was even in Poetic Justice. Like he be
working.
Hello, he was in All About the Benjamins. Anyway, he just always in some shit with his Afro Latino.
Look, let me be on set for like 5 days. Yes.
He freaks him out, but the other one not buying it. So he's like, look, they like, can you guarantee nobody else is gonna die? He's like, I can't guarantee that, but you know, I ain't do shit. Now,
honestly, I would have been like, well, I mean, he's trying to save the teacher, but me personally, I'd be like, I'll just stay here overnight, and then if something happens, then something happens.
Yeah, you believe me or you
something
don't.
happens.
Something happens on his way back because they make him walk home, even though you drove me here. Rude. Some guy is like, I don't know, picking with a bonfire with his rake, and the flames come up at Alex, and that's when he's like, oh shit, gotta get to the teacher's house. Now, the moral of the story is when you put something hot in a glass, don't immediately put something cold in it. Her glass doesn't shatter, but it cuts. I would have seen the water crack. What did I say? Crushed. Like ice. So I would have seen the wine spilling out of my mug just because it's
onto her desktop computer.
Yeah, and it's splashing all on the floor. Like, girl, what are you doing? So the computer explodes. A piece of it gets on her neck. She immediately removes it. Girl, blood everywhere. I just feel like she could have went to the bathroom and there were towels. She going back in the kitchen. It just seemed like a lot was going on. She was spilling alcohol on the floor. So of course she has a gas stove. It explodes.
And then she's on her back, and she's just bleeding profusely, and she sees a rag up on the counter, but she's wearing like a
flannel.
So if she was just going to use something to to press down on, she could have used her shirt because it had a collar. She could have pulled it up like that. She goes to reach for the towel on the counter that has a knife in it. I don't know. I guess she was drying the knife. The knife goes.
Well, the towel was on the knife rack, so she was about. It would have been funny if they all fell on her. Like Carrie.
The knife block. We went over this.
Oh God, block.
It goes into her chest, directly into her rib cage. And she just like, here come Alex. He made it. He finally made it. And this is the dumbest move. You said this last time. Say it again.
Alex goes and he sees that she's in pain and everything. Like he sees the knife in her. So he tries to like get it out. And then it's like the stove explodes again, and the chair, like the chair from the table falls on her. So she's dead. So him seeing her dead, he decides to pull the knife out of her. hold it in his hand, drop it on the ground, and then run out. So his shoe prints are all in the blood. His fingerprints are on the knife, and then the house explodes. Billy is rolling by on his bike because that's just what Billy does. I don't know what the fuck Billy be doing out.
I feel like Billy was having premonitions too, but he just didn't tell nobody. Because how are you always there, Billy?
Hello. And the house explodes. Billy gets thrown off the bike too. Billy ended up telling the damn cops that Alex was there.
I don't know, but somehow Alex corrals the last 4 survivors together. Clear.
Well, Clear. Alex is hiding out, and Clear gets met by the detectives. She tells them, like, I don't know where he is. I don't know. So she calls Carter, and she calls Carter because she's gonna use him and Billy, and they're gonna go pick up Alex. Because she's like, the cops are following me, but if they think I'm with you, they won't be following you. They go pick up Alex, and Carter's like, so you know who's next? Did you know she was next? Like, he's trying to be all, not nice, but, he's trying to be all inquisitive. Now he believes him.
He's being nice.
So they get into another argument in the car, and Carter's like, fuck it, if I'm next. Because Alex never tells him he's next. He just doesn't say anything at all. He literally doesn't. It's the quietest Alex has been this whole movie.
Carter is next, though.
Yes, and Carter gets pissed, so he just starts speeding down the road with other people in the car, which is just inconsiderate. I didn't like this part at all. And then he goes and parks on a damn, I was about to say a bridge, a train track. And they're like, Carter, get out. And he just parks the car, and he's like, if I'm next, I'm next. I don't care. Everybody get out the car. Everybody get out the car like they're supposed to. And he's like, the train is coming. Like, get out, Carter, get out, car. Start the car. Carter's like, I'm just trying to prove a point to you because I'm an asshole. And he tries to start the car. Car don't start. He tries to unhook the seatbelt. He sees death in his rearview mirror. He tries to unhook. He tries to get out. Nothing's happening. Nothing's working.
Nope. It's not. It's for it. Now he knows he was next on death
freaking out. So he's like, Alex, help! I can't get out. So Alex, had a vision when they were in the car of the seatbelt like broken, but it wasn't broken. So he like pulls him. Mind you, this was more intense than I remember it because that train was on their ass. Like trains are fast and they don't stop. Like Porky on his train. Nobody's gonna remember that one.
Porky.
Yes, when Porky the pig was fat. Oh yeah, baby, he had a train.
He's not fat anymore.
No. I gotta
Porky
show
the pig is on Ozempic.
I gotta show you how Porky the pig used to look. I'm gonna send it to you, but I gotta show you how he used to look versus how he looks now. Here. Yes, Porky lost weight, baby, just like not Terrence, the drug rat, but Chuck E. Cheese. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Take it from Terry. You gotta tell somebody.
Take it from Terrence. You better tell somebody.
Charles Entertainment Cheese.
Yes, he like how he lost weight. That's exactly how
he is. He badass right now. Alex ends up pulling and he actually breaks the seatbelt and he gets Carter out just in time.
Baby, just in time. And baby Carter done pissed on himself and everything. Did you see
Billy
start acting like Alex.
Billy starts to crash out.
He's like, oh no, death is following you. You stay the fuck away from me. And everybody's like, calm down, Billy. Like, chill the fuck out. Like, we trying to reel from the fact that we almost just died. Baby, so one of the pieces of metal from Carter's car is under the train. The minute the train get up, it go boom, boom, pick. No more Billy.
So it was actually a piece of shrapnel. Your favorite word.
You're dead! You're dead! And you ain't taking me with you!
And so Billy's as a doornail. He gets decapitated. And then Alex and the police are coming, and Alex is like, I can change it, and if I can change it, I can stop it. He doing way too much. Look, didn't we just get Billy killed because of this shit? So he's like, basically, he skipped Carter because he saved him, and he went to Billy. So him and
You're right. I would always think it would come back though. I would have never assumed if it skipped him, it's never going to come back around.
Well, Death be playing,
but he does.
Movie. Yeah, he does. Be playing in this movie. So Carter tells them to get the hell on, and he stays there in his pissy underwear. And Claire lets Alex stay at her cabin.
In the woods.
Yeah, that was a very good movie. And she's very just at home. Now, mind you, Claire does tell us a very interesting story. And I do want to go over it basically because Claire's parents are never seen in this movie. And it's because her dad ended up getting shot like he was Batman's daddy. And her mom's new boyfriend decided he didn't want kids. So she just left her there.
This is what happens when you censor men.
Damn it, you said it before I could. You left your teenage. I'm hoping she was a teenager by the time she left, because how is
You
she
know,
surviving?
her mom hit him with the, oh, it's her senior year. I'm just gonna let her finish out her senior year. We'll continue to pay the bills and send her some money every month so she can get groceries.
See, I can't say what I want to say, but that's some shit.
And that's some neglected parenting. Period.
Baby, that's some shit right there. So yeah, Alex is over there. He did not death proof this at all. He just put some duct tape around some shit. He didn't death proof it at all. Like, I was like, well, Alex, what are you doing over there? He over there eating tuna out the can and shit. Some potted meat.
The garage was death central. Like, if that happened in Todd's bathroom, imagine all the things that happened in that garage. He should have been in a windowless room with nothing in it.
Like Clear in the second movie. So
Correct.
Clear, the cops end up coming. She ends up telling the FBI where Alex is, because she's like, oh, he's not safe over there. That was some lame shit. So why'd you tell me I was safe over? Like, why'd you tell me I could stay over here if you was gonna just tell the police? So he realizes that he got the design wrong because he did not move his seat. Like, he didn't move seats like he did in his premonition. So he's like, oh shit. So he's like, oh, I gotta go save Clear. And he runs out. The police are on his tail. They're the worst FBI. He managed to get a rowboat and start rowing before they can stop him.
But it was smart though. It was smart because they had to drive around. They had to drive around.
So Clear realizes, maybe death is after my ass. Electricity, like the transformer blew. It's not even like raining. It's just like thunderstorming. So, but she has to go save her dog because you do have to save the dog. The dog is trying to save her. He's like, I sense death. Roof, roof. She managed to get him unhooked, and then the pool burst. It's a lot of electricity going on. The dog is like
cables.
Yeah, the dog is like, hey, I can't help you. Bye, Alex.
Gasoline.
He running. Alex almost died 10 times trying to go save Claire. Clear. Are things clear for you, Alex? So, like,
no, he's so confused.
The part of him drowning, I was like, I do not remember this part where he was just gurgling in the water. Like, death should have just let Alex go ahead and do it. It don't matter. Like, nobody will know. Time of death, it's relative. But yeah, Claire's about to get electrocuted. She tries to get in the car. The car's about to explode. So Alex holds the wire so she can get out and it can skip her, and then he get blown away. It was her death her death scene was the longest. Like, it was a lot of going on. Like, I'm like, death, come on. Like, just make one of her contraptions. Like, she makes these
why
big metal.
You fast and slow. I guess he's fast and slow.
Make one of them metal contraptions follow her that she makes. So yeah, the police come and they save Alex's life, and a year later, so it does work for a year. You can get a year out of it.
Oh, if you skip.
Yeah. So a year later, the kids are in Paris. They have landed in Paris. It's it's Clear, Carter, and Alex, and they're in Paris. And like, oh, I'm glad we finally did this.
They would not be friends.
I'm glad we did this. I'm glad we made it to France. And the fact that they even went to France, how did y'all afford it? I'm guessing, how did Clear afford it?
The money, Clear sold her house. Her parents weren't there to say no.
I can see Carter's parents being rich, but I'm just like, how did y'all afford to come to Paris a year later? But they're there and they're at this bistro and they're just like, I can't believe we survived. Can't believe we did it. Claire's hair is blonde. So she's just happy now because she's blonde. And Carter still has Letterman jacket on. So you just know he's just like.
Just like the end of The Faculty.
No regrets.
None whatsoever.
I'm gonna pass out
now.
I'm gonna pass out. So they're just sitting there talking, trying to have a good conversation, and then here go Alex. Oh well, what if I didn't stop it? Just freaking out again. He's like, maybe I never stopped it. Maybe this was all Death's plan. He's like, I'm gonna go to the hotel room, and Carter's like, you're next, bro. She's like, stop, Carter. And then weird shit start happening. He starts seeing all these visions and Flight 180 and all this kind of stuff. He starts hearing the same music he heard that same night at the crash. Death come for Alex. But who intervenes? Carter. Carter saves Alex's life, and he's like, "Told you were next. Now who's next?" And here come the sign. Bam.
So who's next?
End of movie.
But that was literally the end of Final Destination. It ends on a cliffhanger. Carter does end up dying, by the way, and Alex too. They just write him off, which was weird. I guess Devin saw. I don't know if he was beefing with somebody, like, why you didn't show up for the sequel, baby? But we see him in the newspaper or something like that.
Literally.
Like I said, I recall watching this in the theaters. It was a great experience, and the movie was annoying. I still liked it. It kicked off a lot of sequels, but you know, they were kids. I get it. They were high school kids. They were 18 years old. I understand being an idiot because I was a fucking idiot when I was 17, 18 years old. I did enjoy this movie. I liked Final Destination. It is my second or third favorite out of the franchise so far. Because I do really like Final Destination 5 and I do really like Final Destination 2. But you know, things switch up in every one of those movies, so there's elements that I like from each of them. But for this one, I enjoyed it. 7.5 from me. Devon Sawa was he was batshit crazy in this movie.
Yes, very much so.
Would recommend.
This is a classic. I definitely like it. I still like it. Just hated Carter. Had a lot of heavy hitters.
Carter, you dick.
Had a lot of heavy hitters in this movie as far as like young actors who are coming up in their careers. But I will always say this is my favorite one just because it felt more like that presence of death. I never feel it in any of the other movies where they're all seeing like that black squiggly and the shadow and the breeze. It just felt more like death was literally the villain in this movie. It just felt different. I'll give it an 8. It was I mean, come on, I love Tony Todd. It was really good. I really love the presence of death that's not felt in the other films, like that black shadowy figure, that cold breeze. It just felt like death was like the real villain in this movie, and that's why I'm giving it an 8. The only reason I'm giving it an 8 though is because were there no black students that went to your school? Tony Todd's not enough. Where are the black people? That Afro-Latino FBI agent wasn't enough. Where are the black people? Black people can't go to from.
Black people go.
Could have had a Haitian up in there.
Can't go camping.
So yeah, but still a great movie. Classic.
Well, all right, guys, that'll do it for 2000's Final Destination. Please be sure to catch up with us next time when we review Heart Eyes, which will come out on Valentine's Day. We'll see you then. Bye. Okay, LL Cool J.
That's too bad.
Where did you hide it, Dan?